So airplane boarding, again, so far at least, seems to be spearheading it when it comes to to the passport game, biometric passport game. There we go. We've talked about how the EU is making it mandatory for traveling into most European countries by 2025. I did a video on this. That's not just a discussion. That's not, they're talking about it could possibly happen. That has already been officially brought in place. So if you're traveling from at least the US into certain parts of the EU, you will be required to use a biometric passport to get through. So this is becoming a more and more mandatory thing as it comes through. Again, voluntary at first, then it'll be mandatory. That's just how it goes. Now, we've also discussed, I did a video on this as well, where the International Air Transportation Association, or IATA, they have a beta version of the digital ID travel app with the biometric passports, gates, and ticket confirmation. I did a video on this already, but if you didn't see that video, I think it would at least be good to have a refresher for those who did. Here's their video that kind of shows you how all this works, and it ain't good.
Aviation connects the world, and the experience of air travel is about to become more seamless than ever before. Digital identity technologies and biometrics will enable passengers to hold verifiable credentials in their mobile devices' digital wallets. These secure and trustworthy documents are tamper-resistant and easy to selectively share with relevant parties. Passengers can create a secure digital version of their passport through a two-step process, scanning their passport with a mobile device, which is then verified with a liveness check. These digital credentials, which remain under their control, can now be selectively shared throughout the travel process, from shopping to boarding and beyond. Passengers can also be issued other verifiable credentials, frequent flyer, student ID, and employee cards that will be stored in their digital wallet. Check-in will be a simple click. Digitally stored passport and order information can seamlessly be transferred by the passenger from the wallet to the connected systems. Travelers will no longer be required to manually input information, such as reference numbers. Our traveler is now ready to fly, with the freedom to navigate the airport using only a facial scan, to access lounges and board the flight. IATA's One ID contactless travel standards will make it a reality. Upon landing, biometric gates at immigration allow one to complete the process. All the technology necessary to do this is provided by multiple companies and is currently broadly in individual use.
Welcome to the future. And I mean, this fully rolls in with the you will own nothing and be happy type of thing, because at this point, while it is your face, your biometrics, the fact is at that point, you don't even own it anymore. They own it. And that's your password to get anywhere. And that's just how it rolls. And so you could see how to do everything. It's comparing when you upload your passport, you take a liveness video of your face. So they got that to pass through gates and immigration and all that stuff. You need it for that. In order to get your tickets, you need it for that. To get it on board, you need it for that. Well, again, this is for international travel. This is for planes and stuff like that. But this stuff is coming. I mean, we've talked about it already. I'm sure most of you have at least seen one of these videos where they've got like the Amazon One Palm Pay stuff in different grocery stores. You've got it. You've got the employee-less stores now, where you walk in and there's biometric cameras all over that just automatically sees what you're putting in your cart, and you don't even have to check out. You just walk out and it'll automatically charge you for it. They're already implementing this stuff. Now, this is being put on for planes. Trains are starting to do the same thing. Get ready for buses to start doing it. I know things like they've got like cab type things where it's like a mixture of like a taxi and an Uber. They've got these things now that's all biometric based and whatnot. These things are continuing to come forward to the point of it's just going to be injected into our everyday lives. Now, I'm sure some of you, maybe in the chat or watching later, you've got jobs that you work at where it's biometrics now, whether it's your hand or your face. That's your key card to get inside the building. They're starting to do that as well. I know there's apps like Uber and DoorDash and some of these companies out there that are adding this in there. In order to log on, in order to work, you have to verify it's actually you, and they require that test as well. These things are going to continue to come forward, and they're going to get more and more invasive. First, it'll be, hey, we're offering this for you. Then the next time you show up, it goes, no, this is now mandatory. You need to do this in order to continue using the service or whatever we have for it. This is what's going on. And it's just going to continue to gain speed at this point as they're trying to get this stuff implemented. So if we take a look, we see that it is now spreading, and the biometric chip passports are moving into many different countries now. And we're going to start with Israel, Pakistan, and Russia, because they're the ones that are leading the pack for this year. So if we take a look, biometric chip passports get priority in Israel, Pakistan, and Russia, with further adoption in African nations. Biometrics are set to become the global norm. Yep, yes it is. So it says biometric e-passports to be mandatory in Pakistan, more convenient in Israel. So here it says citing rising concerns about foreigners using forged passport documents. See, this is always the thing. We got to make sure we go over this right now. They always push it as a security issue to make sure that it's the right person, that there's no fraud, and everything is right. That is always their excuse. Oh, this is for your safety. This is to make sure that it's actually you and there's no fraud going on. There's none of that. We got to make sure that is always at the forefront. So don't fall for that. That's just a straight up lie to try and comfort people. And honestly, for most of the world, that is, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's more convenient for me anyways, right? Kill you with convenience. That's usually how it goes. So it says, citing rising concerns about foreigners using forged passport documents for entry, Israel's Population and Immigration Authority, PIBA, PIBA, has updated its policy for border control at Ben Gurion International Airport to Tel Aviv to favor travelers using biometric passports. Israel National News reports that under the new policy, travelers without biometric passports will be required to meet with PIBA. I can't help but giggle every time I say that. Supervisor on arrival to perform verification in person. In other words, the now familiar convenience of using automated machines will not be an option for legacy passport holders, who will have to wait in traditional lineups for face-to-face with customers' officials. So we got that coming into Israel. While it's not mandatory yet, it will be. You know it will. So if we jump over to Pakistan, it says e-passport issuance to become mandatory in Pakistan, confirms top officials. Islamabad, which is their capital over there, in a major technological breakthrough beneficial for flyers, it has been announced that the issuance of e-passports will become mandatory from 2025. So we're seeing that 2020 or 2025 to 2027 window really being what they're aiming for here. Director General Passport Pakistan, I'm not even going to try, guys. Not even going to happen. Confirmed the development and said all necessary arrangements were being finalized in this regard. The official highlighted that the department issued as many as 6.5 million passports in 2023 to Pakistanis who intend to travel abroad. Where is it? Down at the bottom. It says, during his visit to the Karachi passport office, the official said a process was underway to switch from the current system of all machine readable passports to e-passports, adding that a new system would be installed in regards to the next 6 to 7 months. So while it's going to be like fully in effect mandatory by 2027, in the next 6 to 7 months, they plan on getting this stuff rolled out. So it's coming in quick. It's coming in quick, coming in hot with a side of bacon. That's how I like to say it. Then jumping over to Russia. Now, keep in mind, bring me back. Keep in mind, and we've talked about this a bunch on this channel. I just want to make sure everybody's got it. One of the people that is spearheading things like the WEF Center for Industrial Revolution, the technology side of it, as well as the WEF and their cyber polygon events, has been Russia. They have been in the forefront of helping implement new systems for global introduction for these things. So some people might look at this and go, oh, I'm shocked Russia's doing this. I'm sitting there going, really, you are? Yeah, they've always been at the forefront of making this stuff happen. So keep that in mind. So if we jump to Russia here, it says Russia set to implement biometric identification for public services. As technology evolves, so does the way governments deliver services to their citizens. You think? Russia is in a move signaling a significant shift towards harnessing the power of biometrics, is considering a plan to allow citizens to access public services through multifunctional public service centers, MFCs, using biometric identification instead of the traditional passports. And Russia is embracing biometric technology because the Russian government, under the directive of Dmitry Grigorenko, best I got, Prime Minister and Chief of Staff, has tasked the Ministry of Economic Development. Man, this is a mouthful, guys. The Ministry of Digital Development and the JSC Center for Biometric Technologies with the development of this innovative service. The proposed system would revolutionize the delivery of public services by allowing citizens to verify their identities simply by looking into a camera. This would prompt the operator at the MFC to automatically generate a pre-filled application for the specific service requested, eliminating the need for manual verification. Here it comes. Testing of the biometric service is set to begin next year, so 2025. In conclusion, the move by Russian government to implement biometric identification for accessing public services is a testament to the growing trend of digital transformation in governments. The shift not only promises to enhance security, but also to streamline services delivery. All right, so we got Israel, we got Pakistan, we got Russia. They seem to be at the forefront of getting this going. EU, obviously, they've already got their stuff signed in and ready to go as far as that, plus the ETA news, if you guys have been following what's going on with that. So they are pushing it. As I don't know if any of you guys travel here in the United States, but if you go through the TSA, they now have options for this as well, where you go in, you stick your ID into the machine. It'll take a picture of your face to verify that it's you. It'll spit your ID back out, and then you can just head on through. You don't have to go through the manual checks with the people anymore. So this is getting ready to hit the United States. So don't be shocked when that starts to come. So we got that going on. Now, if we head over to the UK, they're also going to be making the switch as well. So if we take a look, it says UK officials plan face biometric trial for passport-free border checks. Travelers to the UK by air will be able to skip passport checks when using biometric gates and trials beginning this year. So they're already getting it going as far as this goes. UK Border Force Director says the new face biometric systems will reduce friction compared with the previous system, which also uses the facial recognition as well. And it says the new implementation is based on the way face biometrics have been deployed in places like Dubai and Australia. That's right. It's already there too, you guys. Douglas says it will tie in with the UK's incoming electronic travel authorization. That's the ETA that I was talking about scheme, and will provide faster passenger processing with enhanced security. Right. See, there it is. There's the security thing again. They're always going to feed you a spoonful of sugar with the medicine. Who was that? That was Mary Poppins. Was that Mary Poppins that said that? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Douglas also noted that the system will be connected to immigration systems to prevent ineligible travelers from boarding. Last but not least on this, the ETA scheme is also expanding in place now for travels from very interesting locations. You got Qatar, nationals from Bahrain, Kuwait, and Oman, and the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Very interesting. All those locations are already on board with this. Will be eligible starting in February. Eventually, it will be extended to all arrivals to the country who do not require a visa for short visit. Very interesting. This is very interesting because we already know that it's signed in, ready to go for international travel. Then they got the ETA system, and now the first countries on board are all those Middle East countries right there. Very interesting on that. But we already know that there's always some type of dastardly thing when it comes to this. There's always more to what they're telling us, and they always lie. I mean, this is just how it goes. Officials governments, they always lie. They always, again, oh, no, no, here's the sugar. It's for your security. We're not doing anything bad with it. Don't worry about it. We're not breaking the law in any type of way because, we sit above the law. But here's the thing is it just confirms what we talk about all the time, where this stuff will be used against us when they say that it's not going to be used against us. So we just got done talking about the UK with their passports and the ETA system. Well, the UK police has now been busted secretly using the biometric passport database for facial recognition since 2019. It's been going on before that. We know that. And it's not just the UK. It's not just the UK either. It's come to light that the UK police forces have been using facial recognition technology to conduct extensive searches within the nation's passport database, which comprises 46 million British passport holders. Now, to break this down in layman's terms, 46 million passport holders basically becomes a pool of suspects for 46 million people. Everybody in the database that is being searched has now become a suspect in whatever case that they're searching it for. That's just how it naturally goes. So if you hold a passport in the UK, you have been a part of a criminal suspect case. Congratulations. Hopefully you were not hit for something false. That's just how it goes. The clandestine operation ongoing since at least 2019. This is coming from Telegraph, and Liberty investigates. Now, if we keep going, passport photos are collected for the specific purpose to verify the identity of the individuals. We understand that. When these photos are repurposed for a facial recognition database by law enforcement, it constitutes a significant invasion of privacy. You don't think? Or you think? Sorry. Apparently, I can't think because I can't say anything properly tonight. People do not expect their passport photos to be used for surveillance or policing purposes. It depends on who you are. If I get a picture for anything government, I know exactly what they're going to be using it for, which can lead to a feeling of constant monitoring and a loss of, not going to say it, guys, being anonymous. That's how I'll say it, in public spaces. Misuse can, of course, have a chilling effect on free speech and assembly. Goes on to say the lack of consent is a fundamental issue as it bypasses the individual rights to control how their personal data is used. Okay, here's the thing. And this is the theme when it comes to technology and digital and anything like this. If it's put into the digital realm of things, if it's put online or anything like that, it's not secure. It's not private. Anybody can access it if they have the opportunity to do so. This needs to be common knowledge for people, because there's still some people out there. I'm not saying you guys watching are these people, because I don't know, but I see it all the time where there's people where it's like, well, I post things on Facebook, but I make sure I have all the things on there that says my data is secure. They think, there's a lot of people out there that think even when you post it online, post anything online, you have privacy and control over that data. No, it's out there and it's done. There's no deleting it. There's no getting rid of it. There's no controlling who can see it, who can use it. The moment you post it on there, they've got it and it's done. So we got to remember that needs to be common knowledge, that if you're going to put something online, even if you're typing in the chat, you have absolutely no privacy control over that at all anymore. It's out there. Anybody can access it. That's how it goes. So anybody who thinks, hey, it's just a picture for the government for a passport. Nope. It's digital. It's no longer private. That's just how it's going to go. Now, if it keeps going, it says concerns have been raised over privacy and data protection following this disclosure. The Information Commissioner's Office, ECO, through its spokesperson, has voiced intentions to address the concerns with the Home Office. Yeah, right. Emphasizing the need to align facial recognition technology's usage with data protection principles. Now, right here, this is a big number. The Home Office Freedom of Information request data reveals that in the first 9 months of 2023 alone, over 300 facial recognition searches were conducted on the UK passport database. That's a lot. That's a lot. So again, What do we got? Israel, we got Russia, we got Pakistan, we got the UK with what they're doing. We got Australia that was mentioned. There's a couple other ones that were mentioned. Are we forgetting anybody? Is there anybody else that we're forgetting? Yeah, here's a couple more. You got Libya, coming from the Libya Herald. New machine-readable biometric e-passports and e-ID cards will be issued. Then you also got Nigeria here with the Nigeria federal government to launch automation of passport applications January 8th. That was yesterday. Federal government has announced that it will begin automating the passport application process on Monday, January 8th, 2024. Nigerians can apply. So it just keeps going. It just keeps on going. Like I said, we saw this coming. We've been talking about biometric passports for a long time. But it just seemed like there was a switch that was flipped at the beginning of 2024, where all of these countries were given instruction, and I use that word specifically, or that phrase specifically, given instruction to start pounding forward, to sprint forward with getting this implemented. And of course, we know that it may just start with the airports, but it's going to start getting pushed down to other regions as well. And now for our friends up in the north, I didn't forget about you guys either, because Canada is also on board as well. Ottawa joins a worldwide push for passportless traveling using facial recognitions. Yeah. The airline was testing a system where passengers verified their identity at the boarding gate through facial recognition equipment. No passport or boarding pass needed. So now you don't even need passports for this thing. They've got it in a database. You just scan your face, and if it matches, you're going through. That's scary. Think about that for a second. They've got so much data and documentation on you that you don't even need to show them it anymore. You just scan your face, and that's it. That's it. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Let's see here. Biometric technology has significant potential to help ensure the safety and security. There it is again. Same words. Safety and security. I guess they mean peace and security, because I guess I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to do it. Stop it. Okay. Safety and security of Canadians while increasing confidence, efficiencies, and fairness for passengers. Sorry, guys. Okay, keep it going. In a request for information quietly issued in October. So quietly issued. So this wasn't a big public announcement at all. You had to go and find it. Transport Canada asked for contractors to propose ways of implementing its Air Right Touch initiative, where passengers can move through the airport on the authority of their own facial biometrics, tied electronically to passport and other data. Now, here's a place that we just talked about, the International Air Transport Association. That's IATA. We just showed that video. And Airline Trade Group is pushing a parallel idea, One ID. We just talked about that with so many pilot projects happening throughout the world. It stopped keeping track of them. So I want to bring this up too, because I know a lot of people have questions. Well, there's so many programs all over the world that are popping up with these different travel biometric things. Isn't there going to be just like one central thing to do it? You have to remember, when it's digital data, it could be easily transferred into a central data point and for the entire world to use. Now that's a very key thing to remember. So even if, like the thing says, where there's so many of them now that they're having a hard time keeping track of all them, that doesn't matter, because everything is all in a digital code that can then just be transferred to a worldwide system if one was to come. Does that make sense? So everything could be then altered and changed to all fit one scope all across the world, even if there's so many different programs. So that's something to remember. It's kind of weird saying it that way, but it's one of the perks when it comes to digital stuff, at least for these people, these nut jobs that are trying to get this beast system built. One of the perks is if it's digital, it can be easily transferred over that way. Just look at the digital currency and what they're doing with that. They've got programs that could easily just switch currency all over, making it one currency, really, to look at it that way. So if we keep going, it says Canada's Border Security Agency is studying a new system that would use facial recognition technology to expedite border control too. So this sounds like they're prepping this for if you want to cross the border via land too. They have this sort of dream, and the World Economic Forum, oh, there it is, has talked about it too. Of a kind of passportless travel, says Benjamin Mueller, a Western University professor and leading academic expert. How does Brett Metter, how does he say it? Pipe puffing, cardigan wearing professors? He's one of them. Yeah, no, he's one of them. So if we keep going here, nope, that's it. That's all I got for that. Okay, so lost track. So we're seeing it though. We got all these countries as soon as 2024 hit. Remember, this is all stuff that happened late December to early January. All these things were announced. So it's like as soon as 2024 hit, full sprint to get the biometric stuff online. And finishing off the biometric ID and passport stuff, because we've been talking about this for a very long time, I know, but there's a ton of stuff to go over. To finish this off, there was a $386 million contract between the Department of Homeland Security and General Dynamics defense contractors for a U.S. biometric ID infrastructure. So, yep, we're going to be hitting the United States here too with this. 386 million U.S. biometric ID management contract. The Global Technology and Professional Services Company was awarded a 3-year Alliant 2 task order to operate and maintain the Department of Homeland Security Office of Biometric Identity Management. Infrastructure components associated with applications. General Dynamics, by the way, is a security company that they make bombs. They develop technology for drones. And now they're going to be the ones who are controlling the U.S. biometric infrastructure. That should put it into perspective for you. General Dynamics Information Technology was the sole bidder on the contract, which also makes the company responsible for the IT underpinning for the DHS Center. Yeah, that's not good. And this is interesting. This OBIM system will play a large role as European countries and the United States negotiate data sharing agreements after negotiations with the EU foundered. And General Dynamics also won $320 million contract for visa services in South America, including biometric enrollment from the State Department last July. There's a lot of concern for who's going to be behind this stuff. This isn't just some IT security group. This is a defense contractor for the United States military. That should give you a red flag that this is not just for your convenience and for peace of mind. That should give you an idea what they plan on actually using this stuff for. And it ain't good.